What's going on, world? Oh, man. I can't tell you how absolutely delighted I am to be back in the building with your man. Look, it's been about like 4 weeks or something like that, man. And so really have missed y'all hanging out on the Life Malcolm show. I'm glad to be back in the booth with the super duper producer DJ ANA doing her thing as always. I'm grateful for that, and I must begin the show as has become my custom by expressing my deep and profound appreciation for DJ CEO and Mrs. DJ CEO aka Tampa Bay Tammy for making this In Touch News platform available for the Life Malcolm show and all the other programmers who come on here and share with you, man. So it's been a been a lot going on over the past almost month. Has it been a month? It's been like a month since since I last got on here live, and so so a lot has gone on. You might recall that. Let me say this. If you don't do a thing after a while, you kind of get rusty. I got to get my rust off. So let me say, you can tune in at www.intouchnews.com and see, watch the video, see it live and all that. Of course, you can check us out on the Facebook platform, In Touch News, and as well, check us out on YouTube, whatever you choose. Also, you can call in, and I do hope you call in. You can call in at area code 813-444-9588. That is area code 813-444-9588. So before I took my little hiatus, I began to organize the Life Malcolm show by doing, like splitting up the 4 segments. We take 3 breaks, so I split the segments up into what I began to call, I think, the light, the heavy, and I can't remember now what it was. I gotta go back and look at my notes. But I'm doing. You remember, DJ? Listen. Here's the point. Huh?
Got a section for the law too.
Oh yeah. It was a section for law. Okay. All right. So maybe I got to restructure then. Okay. All right. Say, okay, I know what I'm going to do for the law. I was going to put it up front. Y'all already know what it's going to be because I didn't get a chance to talk about it. That was the day that was supposed to be my last day before I took the hiatus. The hurricane, what was this one? The one that kept us out the studio. One of the thunderstorm they had, like, huh? Yeah. That's what I'm saying. They usually have names or something. So the one that everybody got a whole bunch of stuff for that they ain't use, and right away. And so so that week I was supposed to come in and lay it on you, but couldn't do that because of the weather's say so about our programming that evening. But so I had it at the top of the list to talk to you today about that. But since we have a law segment, thank you, DJ, for reminding me about that. We're gonna go ahead and put the law part to the back. Try to keep a little continuity. But I want to go ahead and do it. Start off with something like. So, something like, in case you don't recall, just touching on a few things that occurred over the last time we were together. And as I mentioned, it's been a lot of things that occurred since the last time. So I want to do the light, and we go to the heavy, spend a little more time on the heavy, and then, come on in with a word from the law and then a word from the word. And so that's how we're going to try to play that. But, like I said, we got a whole lot to talk about because of the time we've spent away from each other. So we're going to do our best to pack it all in. All right, so we finna get started with the light. But unfortunately, the light ain't as light as I would like it to be. The light is kind of heavy. We must take a brief moment to offer venerations and respect to ancestors who've done tremendous work during their time here in order to provide for us some guidance, provide for us some examples, provide for us a way of thinking for ourselves. And when I say us and our and we and all that kind of stuff, I'm talking about Africans. Don't feel left out if you're not African. You can abandon your white mind and jump on, commit national suicide and jump on board and think like African people and be on the side of right instead of the side of ain't right. You can be you don't have to be non-right. You can be right. And so in expressing these thoughts of veneration, is one name comes to mind right away because it just happened. Dr. Paul Goss. Many of you may know him from his diet, the diet he put forth and the health practice he put forth, CKLS, which stood for colon, kidney, liver, spleen, still stands for colon, kidney, liver, spleen, how to keep those things clean. So Dr. Paul has made his transition from this world, and his energy now abides with us in another form. Also, Runoko Rashidi transitioned, in the motherland, and so, of course, that African left many words and many examples for us to latch on to. So he left us with he left us with a legacy, and we have the ability to say, "Job well done," and in many respects. So in that same the light but the heavy kind of way. Want to put up that picture, the first picture. Since been away from the Life Malcolm show for the past few weeks, several people I know and love also died. Man, one of them awfully tragic. Some death doesn't always have to be tragic, and in this day and age, it seems, that tragic deaths have become the status quo. It's the part and parcel of the colonized African's life, certainly in this country. Most of the funerals I attend, are based on some kind of violence, some kind of sickness from, just like early kill you early sickness, not like you just get old and just body wears out because it's been around for so long, building legacy or something like that. And so when I say tragic, I do recognize that and I hope you have, still have the sensitivity to the human experience to remember that all death does not have to be tragic. Some death can, is timely. It's, like the scriptures say, I've kept the faith. I've run the race, kept the faith, finished my course. I don't know. Somebody's gonna tell me how to say it right, but just meaning that you've done what you should do. But yeah. So this guy that you see, man, my cousin Antoine, young man. He would. So I have cousins in several places around the United States of America. One of them being Detroit, Michigan. And so I think of my extended family that way, like my cousins in Detroit, my California cousins, my Georgia cousins, so I think of them in those terms. And so in that bunch, man, that Detroit bunch, man, he was one of my favorite cousins when we would meet, and the few occasions that we met as adults. It was really, really it was always a great joy, man. Really, really good to kick it with him and fellowship with him, man. A few weeks ago, some old punk ass dude shot and killed my cousin Antoine at a gas station in Springfield, Ohio. It was a media story. You can Google it. You know, this old punk ass dude. My cousin was with the woman that this guy used to be with or something like that. And so this punk ass dude shows up to the gas station, shoots my cousin outside at the gas pump, then at some point shoots my cousin's 6-year-old son in the knee, and at some point shot his ex-girlfriend, my cousin's current girlfriend, in the head and some other places, and shot some 7-year-old girl in some kind of superficial fashion, they say. So yeah, and man, tragic. Antoine, like I said, just a fun dude, incredible smile, tall guy. He enjoyed being one of the tallest amongst us. His mother lives in Orlando. She was there, when we got the news about my cousin. She had to go deal with all that stuff, And so I just wanted to definitely show my love and appreciation to my cousin and his mother and that side, my aunt, that side of the family. It was an incredible experience, man, to have to bury your firstborn child, bury, someone you love for so very long, so shortly and unexpected, who lived so shortly and died so unexpectedly. It's an incredible thing. So the next picture I want to put up is my man Glen Ford from the Black Agenda Report. And so just got this news a few days ago. Glen Ford was an incredible figure in the journalistic world, not just the black journalistic world, although he was a giant in the African in the African world, period. Glen Ford was a genius of a journalist. He had been involved in this craft of reporting news since the mid-'70s. Like, I believe 1975 is when his work became notable, across the state, being the United States. And Glenn, instead of taking his talents to white people like so many Africans do when we're super talented, and we just sell our ass to the highest bidder, Glenn did not do that. He dedicated his life to this contest of ideas that African people are engaged in with white colonial capitalism every day of our lives. And he was a disciplined, dedicated journalist who loved African people. And up until he died, I had an opportunity to meet Glen Ford a few times. His work with the Black Agenda Report as co-founder and writer, will live on forever, as will his work as a founding member of the Black is Back Coalition for Social Justice, Peace, and Reparations. So if you don't know any of these people I've named, Dr. Paul Goss, Runoko Rashidi, hell, if you don't know my cousin Antoine, look him up. And and also Brother Glen Ford, man. You would do yourselves a favor to get to know these people somehow, some way. All right, so looks like we're about to get ready to go to break. I really appreciate y'all tuning in. I just want to tell you that I would really appreciate it if you call in and holler at your boy. Welcome me back right here on the Life Malcolm Show. You can call me at 813 444-9588. I thought you was gonna say it to me. I thought I was gonna say, you know it. All right. We'll see you on the other side of the break, y'all.
You're listening listening to Tampa Bay Tammy
Your girlfriend.
on In Touch Radio. In Touch Radio. Excuse me, but do this station keep you in touch? A lot. How do you like the music? A lot. Do they play your favorite songs? A lot. And in just 2 words, how do you like the station? A lot. There you have it, folks. The moral of the story is our listeners like us a lot. In touching you 24/7 on the World Wide Web. We're In Touch Radio.
All right. All right, we back. Yeah, like I said, a little light, but the heavy is light, so we gonna continue with the light heavy as we bring up this next picture, since it kind of goes with what we've discussed so far about deaths we've experienced overall. This also, if you see this picture right here, this also happened while I was away from the studio. 7 African penguins died right here in Tampa at the Florida Aquarium. And I just wanted to make sure that African men and African women knew this, so that we wouldn't feel isolated and alone as the only targets in Tampa. You know, it's hard for African penguins too. You know, African men and women aren't the only ones who liable to die around here in Tampa. You know, so it's not just us. It's hard on everything African in Tampa. When you ain't heard of no white penguins dying. No European penguins. Not even one. It's all 7 of, and they look at them. They look like African penguins too, don't they? They look, you know, yeah. They was profiled. All right then. So yeah, all right, cool. So now let's go to the heavy. All right. So one of the things we've talked about quite a bit on the Life Malcolm show is nationalism. You with me on that? Nationalism. I'm an African internationalist and damn happy to say it. I'm an African all day long, you dig? And there's some people who have a problem with the fact that I say I'm African, right? Even though, I mean, African people who, you know, they African, but because they want to be American Africans or something, you know, else. They don't want me to be African. They try to convince me, right, that I'm not African, because they have somehow convinced themselves or allowed themselves to be convinced that they're not African. And so the question of nationalism is always at the forefront for me, because if you don't know who you are, it's hard to know who your enemies are. It's hard to know who your comrades are. It's hard to know what belongs to you. You know what I mean? And because you need to know what belongs to you, so when people take it from you, you have sense enough to take it back. You know, and so. Nationalism is an incredible question that plays a critical role in every part of our lives, even when we don't know it, right? And so this basketball team, I don't really watch sports anymore. I used to be a pretty avid sports fan. Certainly, football was a big deal. Basketball was a big deal. Boxing, big deal for me. These days, I don't get an opportunity to watch sports so much. Generally, you know, over the past 5 years or so, I've been able to keep up with the championships, the playoffs, and I like that. Like, I'm mainly speaking here of basketball and football, because almost all boxing contests, you know, test the champions. But But I like to see how champions perform, and so I would make it my business when practicable to watch these tournaments. Even baseball. I like to see the playoffs, the World Series. I like to see how people perform when they 3 games down, and 3-3, and the game is on the line. I like to see how people rise to the occasion, type of thing. And so. But I haven't been able to watch basketball for any sports really, except for maybe boxing when they had something worth watching on television for the past 3 years or so. So I'm not hip to the players. I don't the last time I really watched the championship joint was when Kevin Durant won. No, that's not true. That's not true. I saw the year Kawhi Leonard when he won. He had on the red and white uniform. I don't remember what team it was, but the Cardinals. That's football or something. Yeah. And anyway, he had on the red and white basketball jersey. But I don't remember. But anyway, that's when I saw it. So y'all have a frame of reference. But this time I didn't see the championship games either. Didn't even know who was playing. I was talking to a friend of mine over the telephone, and he had a conversation with somebody in his background who just lost a bet based on gambling on the NBA championship, right? And he was like, I told you. This is my friend on the phone talking to this guy who lost the bet. I told you that Chris Paul couldn't run with the Greek Freak. And I'm like, okay. Y'all know who the Greek Freak is? All right. So, so I didn't know who the Greek Freak was either. And so, do you have the ability to pull up the Greek Freak picture and then put it up? Like, can you do that? Okay, well, I'm just saying if you can, because I want people to see. I mean, the people watching, the Greek Freak. There's only one of them. There's only one. Yeah, that's why you confused, ain't you? Yeah. So the Greek Freak, right? So my man on the phone say the Greek Freak, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right. I'm thinking in my mind it's some white boy, European type dude, done came through and somehow made himself impressive in this sports arena where Africans dominate all the time, right? And so I talked to another friend of mine, like my main man from childhood, and I'm like, yo, I heard something about the Greek Freak or something. And my man was like, yeah. He said, it's African. I was like, what? He said, yeah, it's African, grew up in Greece, blah, blah, blah. And so I went and Googled Greek Freak. No, actually, that's not true, because my friend told me the brother's name, Giannis Antetokounmpo. And so I went and Googled this African. Man, this African is amazing. He probably gonna be like the best, certainly gonna be one of the best NBA players in the history of the game. African 6'11", run like a damn deer. I mean, athletic as hell, just dunking and dominating and what have you. And so like I had to. Yeah, that is the Greek Freak right there. That's him, Greek. When you think of Greek, right, is that what you think of when you think of Greek? I don't even know what I think of when I think of Greek, because I don't really think of Greek. I think of yogurt, and I ain't like olives. Pizza, but if I had to imagine Greek person, right? Obviously, I'm not thinking African, because I said I thought it was going to be somebody look European. I know that much about Greece, so when they say Greek Freak basketball player, I'm thinking this, something. And it's this African. And so there's people in the world who really believe this African is Greek. Even this African, he might believe it too. But I'll tell you what I do know. According to the record, this African is like the 21st century Dred Scott. He's African, like 20, 24, 26 years old, something like that. So maybe he he the 21st century Dred Scott. Because 18 years ago, it had to be in the 21st century, right? 18 years ago, he'd been in the 20th, yeah, like barely, yeah, 2003, yeah. So check it. For 18 years, this African was born in Nigeria, by the way, Lagos. Born there, African, right? Then now he in the Greece, right? In Greece. And for 18 years, these white people would not give that African citizenship. Like Dred Scott. Y'all remember Dred Scott? Yeah, Scott versus Sanford. Dred Scott, I believe the case was 1857 when the Supreme Court told Dred Scott was an African who was free, so to speak, as free as you can be in this country of the United States. And so Dred Scott, went proudly up to the Supreme Court and demanded citizenship. And, African people in this country and around the world, other places say all kinds of stupid stuff. Like, if you're born in America, then that make you American. If you're born somewhere, that make you this. If you're born, look like we lost video. When you're born somewhere, you like this. If you, okay, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, if just because you born in America, like you was born there, and I would tell people, I would point them to the Dred Scott case and say, Africans have been being born in the United States of America since the 1600s. When the first African was snatched up and brought here from Africa to this place in like 1619. African people have been being born here for 200-something years by the time Dred Scott went to the Supreme Court and demanded, Dred Scott was born here, right? And demanded to have citizenship, and the white man at the Supreme Court told him that no African has any rights that any white person is bound to respect. Yeah, you ain't no citizen, Negro. That's what they said, and that's what the white people said to Giannis. I think they Kupo. But as soon as he came with a price tag, right, now, he Greek. He Greek now. And that's not unlike the colonizer. The colonizer will, when it's to the colonizer's advantage, deny you any kind of inclusion and participation. And as soon as they can see how it might work out for them, they'll scratch your name off and put their name on you. Won't they do it? Yes, they will. As Kunta. Yeah, they'll do it in the movies. They'll do it in real life. Yes, they'll do it. And so, and they'll do it in the Greece. It's like they'll do it right here in the United States. And so I just wanted to point out, man, it just stuck out to me. You hear the people on the announcers, and the Greek freak, and the Greek freak. And I'm like, how can they say that with any kind of good conscience? Then it reminds me of what Chairman Amali used to taught me many, many years ago. Oh, I think I got 1 minute before I go to break, so I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna get these three things in. I remember when Chairman Amali used to tell the chairman of the African People's Socialist Party and the leader of the Huru movement, pointed out that when you look at the Olympics and you hear the people call out, France got the gold, America got the gold, and Germany got the gold. You look up there and see who got the gold. Africans standing up there with the gold, right? And I remember one time Chairman and I got off this train in Paris, and I don't know if you've ever been to Paris, but Paris is like Chicago. I mean, it's chocolate city, right? It's like D.C. And so I get off the train, and all these Africans is running, who's these vibes? Who's that? And I'm like, oh, what's up with these Africans talk like that, right? And Chairman, this 20 years ago or so, and Chairman was like, Negro, you talk English? You talk the colonizer's language. What make you think these Africans, shouldn't talk the colonizer's language, right? And back to attempted Kupo in that same kind of context, in that same idea, somebody asked me when they saw attempted Kupo on the jersey, they say, is his father white? And I said, well, why do you ask? And the response was, because of the last name. like a white man's last name. And my response was, almost every African in the damn world got a white man last name and a black father. What your last name is? African? All right, then. I'll see you on the other side of the break, man. Holla at your boy. 813-444-9588. Right here on In Touch News. This is Life Malcolm Show, y'all.
Touch Radio anywhere on your phone.
I'm listening to right now, man.
In your car.
I'll keep that going.
On your computer. It's a new world, baby, and we are global. In Touch Radio.
In Touch Radio, where you can listen to a cruising flow of smooth soul and jazz, today's R&B, a fun touch of hip-hop and gospel.
All my music on one station.
Giving you a buffet of music, news, and entertainment. We're In Touch Radio.
Welcome back to the Life Malcolm Show. Right here on In Touch News, where everybody is a star. And the biggest star is you, especially when you call in. All right. So we dealt with our brothers who transitioned. That was the light, but the heavy light. One time for the Penguins. And we dealt with this idea of nationalism, Giannis. And I ain't saying don't go to the Florida Aquarium. I'm not saying that. I don't want nobody thinking. I'm just saying if you're a penguin, an African penguin. All right, so also since I've been away, we've had this variant come up. They say they got the variant now, and so this be look, man, I can't help but laugh at it because it's funny to me. This whole colonial virus is funny to me. Now I'm gonna tell you like this. So at last, I was gone almost all last month, so I did not come close to using my cussing budget up. So, what I didn't even come close. I don't even think I got one cuss word in last month. So, I'm going to get one in. Just listen, do like this. Just be ready. It's coming. Right now, I'm about to talk about the colonial virus. And people don't want to talk about the colonial virus the same reason why they don't want to talk about nothing else. Because people would rather talk shit than talk science. Can I get a witness? People would rather talk than talk science. But everything on this earth, baby, is scientific. It's all science and math. Tell me what ain't. Tell me what ain't science and math. Make it make sense, though. You know? So, colonial virus. I'm going to just kind of ramble on because I have no scientific approach for you in this particular discussion. I just, there's some things that have come across my social media stuff and even some radio programs I've tuned into and whatnot. So just throw some things at you kind of randomly and deal with them as they come to mind. One, this person said to me, or actually to the listening radio audience in response to something I said, that when it comes to viruses and nutrition, when it comes to viruses, the immune system and nutrition is irrelevant. Now, I challenged him on that. He said, well, he didn't mean the immune system was irrelevant. But what he meant was nutrition was irrelevant. He cleaned it up for me. When it comes to viruses, immune system and nutrition is relevant. I disagree. I happen to have lived a nutritious life, and not in some adventitious way. Did you hear that? Yeah. I ain't playing with you. It's real. Oh, I just look like this. This real. I didn't say advantageous either. Adventitious. I've lived a nutritious life for almost 30 years. I have done this thing in no adventitious way. And so when these Johnny come latelys, Janie come latelys, come round, want to talk to me about viruses, nutrition, and immune health, I really want to have the discussion, but they say stupid stuff. Like the immune system and nutrition is irrelevant when it comes to viruses. But they have the dose. I won't even call it a vaccine no more. I got suckered into that, calling it a vaccine just because that's what everybody else called it. Hell, I don't know what the hell it is, and you don't either. So you just got the dose. You don't know what vaccine, gasoline, you don't know what it is. You done took somebody's word for it. You probably didn't even see it. You probably turned your head when they shot it in you, right? So you don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. All me and you know is you got the dose. So now the colonizer has fabricated this chasm between the dosed and the undosed, right? Yeah. The undosed is like a second-class citizen, right? If you're not dosed, then you can't work. You're not dosed, you don't belong around here, right? And look, I'm gonna tell you something. For me, it's not about Tuskegee. Like, it's not about any kind of, I'm not saying Tuskegee was a conspiracy, because it wasn't. It was a fact. They let Africans suffer with syphilis for 40 years, for a fact, from 32 to 1972, something like that. It was a long time. 40 years. And there wasn't no conspiracy. I used to know the dates, but, I got other dates in my mind. Listen, I just know the colonizer. Tell you something. Once upon a time, the indigenous people to this land had buffalo. And they had enough buffalo, they could eat them, trade them, and skin them so that they could wear them and cover themselves with them. Lo and behold, here come old colonizer, done got rid of the buffalo, now the indigenous people cold, and here they come with these damn blankets. And then give the indigenous people these blankets for free. Just like they give y'all the dose. But like, hey, we done made you sick with all this BHT, high fructose corn syrup, red number 5, yellow number 7, drink, artificial juice, whatever they call this stuff, frozen processed, McDonald's, we done made you sick. Now we got a dose for you, and it's free. Blanket, dose. Here, have 2 blankets. Now they tell you get 2 doses. And all I know is after they got done with them damn blankets, there wasn't number about 400 indigenous people left. So, that begs a question. How come them 400 lived? Well, I would say some of them lived because they were smart enough not to take the damn blanket. I would say that others likely lived because they had an immune system that could beat back the colonial virus of that time. That's all the what they call the smallpox. Well, that wasn't nothing but colonial virus 1485 or whatever, 1495. Yeah, that's all it was. It was just the 15th century colonial virus. That's all it was. And now here it is with the 21st century colonial virus, and you don't know what to do. And speaking of that, that's another thing that I want to say. Most people, like me, I know why I won't get the vaccine. I don't need it. I mean, look, I'm not saying that some people, maybe your sick ass need it. Maybe you do. Your sick ass should go take it, maybe. Or think about getting healthy. But I just don't trust no group of people who've been tricking colonized people for centuries, giving us stuff for free that cost us our goddamn lives. You know what I mean? I don't really trust them like that. You know, I mean, they give us a gun. In Africa, they would do that. You know, they would give the Europeans were coming, and we were impressed by this gun because we ain't never seen nothing like it. But they had it in the treaty, in the what's that thing called? In 1884, 1885, when von Bismarck and them got together in come on now. Yeah, but anyway, when they redivided the world, redivided Africa, you know, 1884, 1885, the Berlin Conference, the Berlin Conference. One of the agreements that they made was that they could not give Europeans could not give African people any kind of technological tool that would give them the ups on Europeans. Yes, that was in the agreement. So what the Europeans would do, they would bring some rickety-tickety little rifle to the African, and that looked impressive to the African, but it wasn't nothing compared to the Maxim gun that the damn Europeans used to mow down African people. So they always giving us something for free, something make us feel good about how to deal with some problem that they created. Next thing you know, we end up in bad shape. But here's the thing. These days, most African people don't even know why we do what we do. Go ahead and ask somebody, why you take the dose? Ask them, why do you go to church? Ask them, why do you eat what you eat? Matter of fact, here, ask yourself why you do these things and see if you can come up with an answer yourself. Why you call yourself Greek? Why you call yourself American African? Ask and tell me if you can come up with the answer, an answer that's different than I don't know, or an answer that's different than that's what my mom and them used to eat. That's what I grew up on. Or an answer different. My mom and them raised me in church. Or an answer that's different than hell. That's what the scientists say. You need to take the dose. Tell you something about scientists, so-called scientists. If you Google it yourself, you will find out that most medical doctors in the United States of America did not study nutrition at all in med school. If they did, they only studied it for a few weeks, maybe a month. Google it yourself. You'll see scores of medical doctors across all spectrums of the profession who attest to the fact that they learn nothing about nutrition, or very little. See, me, I know a lot about nutrition. Been doing this thing almost 30 years. And so when somebody comes try to tell me that I need something other than oranges, cherries, berries, basil, thyme, dillweed, oregano, colloidal minerals, vitamin D3 capsules, half my body weight in ounces of water on a daily basis, enough sleep to help myself heal from whatever tried to attack over the course. I have enough sense to know what my urine's supposed to. Most people don't even know what color piss supposed to be. What the hell are you gonna tell me? You don't even know what color piss supposed to be. All right, we're gonna talk some more piss on the other side of the break. 'Cause I see you on the other side of the break. Call up too, man. Call in. Now, y'all done pissed me off. I'm playing. Call up to 813-444-9588, man. It's the Life Malcolm Show.
favorite old school. Today's R&B. With a smooth touch of jazz. You're listening to In Touch Radio.
You've been injured. You deserve help from an attorney that knows how to handle your injury claim. This is attorney Clinton Paris from the law office of Clinton Paris. For over a decade, I worked for insurance companies, and now I use that knowledge and experience to help people that have been injured. For a free consultation, call me, attorney Clinton Paris, at 813-413-7924. That's 813-413-7924, or at parislawoffice.com. At the law office of Clinton Paris, we take the pain out of being hurt. Offices, Riverview.
All right. So, I know that the question is burning in the back of your mind, maybe even in the front of your mind. What color should piss be? Well, let me tell you. It should be the color of weak lemonade. Yeah. If yours ain't that color, every day, all day, you're going to be one of them stupid people who'll be like, I don't know why I have bladder cancer. I didn't have no symptoms. But you had symptoms every day. You just didn't know. You didn't recognize. You didn't speak the language. You was too busy listening to people who don't know nothing either. Instead of listening to Brother African right here, you know, trying to tell you something. Hey, look, Shawty, look, let me tell you something, Shawty. I wouldn't tell you something if it wasn't 100%. I just wouldn't even say it if it wasn't 100. I saw a person I promise not to talk about much on the show. Talking to some person who work at the hospital or something. They on there talking to each other, say either get their words were get vaccinated or get the vaccine or get COVID. Get the vaccine or get COVID. Yes, that's what that that person is. I can't talk about it on the show like that. And some old twinkle toes doctor that was on the show with him say you get vaccinated or get. That's the bottom line. Look, I'll tell you right now. I put my immune system I put my money where my immune system is. Put me anywhere you want to put me in a room full of COVID. Put me in the epicenter. Give me a COVID cup. Give me a cup of COVID. Double. Bet you I won't get it. On everything. I see y'all posting these pictures of these people. He said he wasn't gonna get COVID, and now look at it. It be looking pitiful too. But y'all don't have no problem. What? Y'all had them looking in bad shape because they said that, look, I promise you won't get now a picture of life like that, Shawty. I ain't gonna get the COVID. I ain't gonna get nothing. Not like that. You got to bring something other than like Ebola or something, like something that really get at you before you can, have time to deal with it. Not no virus that take 2 and 3 and 4 days. Man, come on, man. Listen, I'm not saying everybody should live the same way. What I am telling you, though, is science. Look, if you put it like this, if you believe there's a scientific reason why people get the colonial virus, you ought to believe it's a scientific reason why people don't. That's a viable idea, ain't it? And, I mean, I recognize some people do a good job at being bad to themselves. Come on in, caller. Don't eat no good food. Don't take no vitamins. Don't take no minerals. Don't drink no water. Don't get no rest. Caller, come in.
What up, man? Hey, man, you're coming back on fire today.
Yeah, man, a little bit.
I love every minute of it. The thing when you just said something for free, you know, what's crazy about these credit unions and banks. I know everybody done got that letter in the mail saying, hey, $2,000 free insurance if you would ever die to your family. I ripped that thing up so quick, and I tell my people, don't sign that.
Yeah.
They're going to give you a free $2,000. How much you think they're going to make off your death certificate?
Come on, man.
And another thing you just said, when somebody, one of my main partners is a 7-day Adventist, and it's crazy to see him, I don't even want to call it a debate, get into somebody that's been in a Sunday church all their life, and like you just said, tell me why you go to Sunday church, not because that's how you grew up. Tell me what you believe in and tell me how you feel. And just to see them kind of conversations, you know, I just sit on the side. I try not to laugh during the conversation, but I can just as bad as somebody trying to tell you about nutrition. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've been doing it for 30 years. Don't tell me about that. You crazy?
100.
Miss you, man. I'll let you next week, pal.
No, I appreciate you calling, too. That's 100, man, for real. So, like, I recognize something, and I appreciate that call, I do. And I appreciate that some people might need, you know, they're bad to themselves. They don't take care of themselves worth nothing. So maybe the dose might help them. I don't know. Like, for example, though, like sunscreen might be beneficial to some people. Like, I don't need it. Got this nice, look at this red hue. This melanated skin right here keep a brother protected. You understand? And but I know some of my light-skinned brothers and some of my white-skinned counterparts. They got to screen up. You know, what kind of fool would I be to say don't put that on and you need that? You know, but I mean, what kind of fool would I be to put it on because they need that? You know, No, we just got to be scientific, you know, about the moves we make. All right, cool. So I got a few more minutes left, so go the law. Woo! Speaking of scientific, man, look here. I'm so glad Brother Bill is free. Yes, I am. Free, man, look here. Bill Cosby is free, and he should have been, never should have gone to prison, and I'm gonna tell you why. This is the law side of the game. And look, I know you can say whatever you want. You promote the rape culture, this, that. Look, let me tell you something. No, I don't promote no rape culture. But what I also don't promote is no damn foolishness. Look, somebody asked me the other day, like, when you think of Rosewood, did I say this before? Somebody asked me when I think of Rosewood, what's the first thing that come to mind? And I say, the colonizer been doing this bill shit to us for a long time, and we still fall for it. Yeah, y'all remember Rosewood? It's say, he raped me, and the next thing you know, they tear the town. Look, man, Bill Cosby, he just got to be around here raping people. And how the hell you rape 60 people? And who the hell are these 60 people? Who was 1 through 20? Didn't say nothing, didn't shout out to nobody, hey, Bill over here raping people, and save these other 40 people's ass, literally. Huh? You know, but nobody want to talk about that part. But let me just say, on the legal side of the game, Bill, Bill had no choice but to say incriminating things, if they were incriminating, about himself. Let me say it differently. Bill had no legal choice, but to say the things that he said, which incriminated him in this instance, after the former prosecutor took prosecution off the table. When the state takes the punishment off the table, then one no longer has the Fifth Amendment right. That Fifth Amendment right is only in place legally when there is the possibility of legal jeopardy. And so when they say we won't punish you, you got to tell us, you got to answer these questions or go to jail for not answering because you will be in contempt. Then Bill had to answer. Then to turn around and then say, okay, now since we stripped this right away from you, left you with no choice, and you said these things, now we're going to put you in prison. That's just dead wrong. And I'll tell you why. Because you don't want the situation where your Fourth Amendment protections no longer, if they do exist for African people at all, in the few instances that they do from time to time, you don't want, you'll be the first to say, oh, that was an illegal search. Oh, that was an illegal seizure. You had no business stopping me. I had the right to say this or that. And so we can't, it can't be okay when it's our day, when it's our so-called right upon which the government infringes, and then bad when it's somebody else's. And so, yeah, that's just the legal side of the game. But boy, I had a lot of thought. Okay, that's done with the law. Don't worry about it. That's it. You go look it up. The Fifth Amendment. If you're not facing penalty, then you can't say I plead the Fifth, because you'll be pleading the Fifth from a cell, because the court will hold you in contempt. And so I just want people to understand the legal reason why that what happened with Bill just now was the right thing to do. But I mean, come on, y'all. How we just gonna let people tell us about our people like that, and just jump? I mean, because 60 people said, I don't give a damn if 600 people said it. If that don't make it true. Huh? You know how many people calling Giannis Antetokounmpo Greek? That don't make it true. Huh? Look. All right. So we've discussed a lot here today. I want to leave you with something like a solution. Let me see. Oh, you know what? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to find a proverb I want to leave you with, and leave you with one of the proverbs. We'll come back with a word from the word, but I want to tell you that here it is. Since we were talking about blankets and skins and what have you, let me tell you that the skin of the leopard is beautiful, but not his heart. So, huh? That is that comes from that's courtesy of the entire continent. I give you another one. Advice. Oh, and this is perfect. This is a perfect way to, yeah. I'm gonna come back to that one. I'm gonna be there. Here we go. Home affairs are not talked about in the public square. Yeah. And look, we're going to talk about some of y'all people who like to put your home business out there too. We're going to come with a whole show. It's going to be the heavy, and then a word from the word. Something like that. All right. Okay. Here we go. The law is a spider's web. Only the little insects get caught in it. That's a Gambian proverb. And here is our last proverb of the day. And this is to all my dosers out there who don't want me to tell them nothing about. Why you think they ain't giving y'all vitamin vouchers? Mineral vouchers, healthy food vouchers. I'm serious. Why they want to give y'all this juice to get the shot? Why did I give you money to get you healthy, man? For real, yo. Come on now. But y'all keep listening to them people you want to. All I'm gonna tell you this right here. Advice is a stranger. If he is welcome, he stays for the night. If not, he leaves the same day. And on that note, damn it, I'm out. I'll holler at y'all next week, man. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me, man, on the Life Malcolm Show. It's been a pleasure. I hope you did learn something and allow my advice to at least stay tonight. To be continued, y'all.